Well, everything that is really important has been said. So I try a different approach to the subject of this seminar. I would call it a short analytical approach. First of all, India is a global power. We're speaking of a global power. It's an economic global power. It's a social global power. It's the largest democracy in the world. It's a trustable country, a trustable partner, a trustable friend. Second point, Portugal has always been a platform among cultures, civilizations, oceans, and continents. That's the way we are. And we are trustable. The evolution of our economy shows it. The implementation of our democracy shows it. The stability, the safety, political, institutional, economic, and social stability show it. On ourselves, inside the European Union, with the Portuguese-speaking community all over the world. Third, we know each other for very long. It's not the first time we meet. We know each other. And we know each other all over the world because we are both universal. We have our communities in every continent. And they work together. They work together in Portugal, they work together in India, but they work together in the Americas, in Africa, in Asia, all over the world. And we are, fourth, we are very similar. It seems a little bit strange. How could it be? Speaking of a Western country and an Eastern country, an European country and an Asian country, Portugal is not just an European country, it's a universal country. India is not just an Asian country, it's a universal country. We like building bridges. We are very good at it. All kinds of bridges. Cultural bridges, educational bridges, scientific bridges, technological bridges, economic bridges. It's the way we are. Fifth, for very long, we converged multilaterally. I mean, we established diplomatic relations in 34, and then we worked together in the United Nations, in so many agencies all over the world. And we agreed on the fundamentals, on the values, on the principles. So we worked with the world and for the world, for peace, for freedom, for sustainable development. We understood very quickly how important was sustainable development and climate change. And before working bilaterally, we were already working multilaterally. Everywhere, supporting our mutual candidates. Everywhere. It was natural for decades. It was the way we lived in the 80s and the 90s, beginning of this century. And then it came to the bilateral relations. We understood that we were getting along very well politically, diplomatically, multilaterally, but not bilaterally in so many fields. What a pity. And we decided to recover the time we had lost. It happened in the last few years. Why in the last few years? Because history is that way. It takes a little bit longer to take advantage of everything that was just not past, but present and future. And of course, it was very important. Empathy. Because, being businesswomen and businessmen, you know how empathy makes the difference. Not necessarily institutions, not necessarily rules, that helps. Not necessarily the framework, that helps. But that relation, person to person, it happened first, recently, at the political level. When Prime Minister António Costa had been said, being today the single European Prime Minister with Indian roots, and the first ever to be Prime Minister, created empathy with Prime Minister Modi. And we know from everyday life, I'm a university professor, that empathy is a key point. And they understood that they should act quickly. Prime Minister Costa came to India, Prime Minister Modi went to Portugal, Prime Minister Costa came back to India again. Here I am in India. And President Coutinho promised to go to Portugal next year. So it goes quickly at the political level. One journalist asked me, half an hour ago, why was the meeting with Prime Minister Modi so long? Any problem? No. Too many subjects to treat. No problem at all. Just agreement. But so many subjects, bilateral subjects and multilateral subjects to treat. So it had to be long. Well, we are coming to the economic level, economic bilateral level. And here, your role is the main role. Because politicians, they create the framework, they open the way, they pave the way, but they do not act in economics, in business, every day. It's up to you, up to your companies, up to your decision, up to your will. It's not just a political will, it's an economic will. The same way it happens with universities and research centers, speaking of science and technology. And this seminar shows, in a way, because you have dealt with these different subjects, in which fields India can benefit from Portuguese expertise. Tourism, they understand tourism, of course. Goa, of course. India as a whole, of course. Portugal, of course, for you. Renewable energies, you know how Portugal is very good at it. And you are very good too. We must cooperate. ICT, both of us, we are very good at it. At a different scale. Environment industry, infrastructures, water and sanitation. But much more than that, public works and construction. That's one of my fights. To convince Portuguese companies that are leading in so many countries all over the continents to come to India and to be in India and work in India much more than I have ever done in the past. Blue economy, the oceans, the future of the oceans in the research, but also in the business. So important for both of us. Maritime transport and ports. Automotive and electrical mobility. Mobility is one of the key words in the present and in the future. Mobility of people. We've signed yesterday an agreement on mobility. But you must create conditions for mobility. It's another priority for us, to have your expertise, our expertise, together with your expertise in those fields. And quickly, because this is the right time. And then, of course, having had the political revolution, having seen so many companies coming from Portugal to India, working in India with success. Their names were quoted just now, and you know them. And Indian companies in Portugal, we want them more to invest in Portugal. And not forget, it has been said, that Portugal is not just going to have the presidency of the European Union next year, but Portugal is in a very, very special situation dealing with Great Britain after the Brexit. If you want to be in the European Union and keep your ties with United Kingdom, with Great Britain, by chance, England is our oldest ally. It's not only possible, but clever to use Portugal as a place to localize your companies. It is clever. It is almost obvious, rationally speaking. So obvious. So obvious that even the British are doing it themselves, partially. Which is natural because we have so many British investments in Portugal for centuries. And so this seminar is very stimulating because it's held here in Mumbai. I know that love has no explanations. We know it. That's the only reason why I can understand the decision of that Portuguese queen, Catherine, when she gave as a gift of her wedding, she loved that husband very much, to the English king, Mumbai. Well, it's easy to rewrite history from today. It's very easy. One shouldn't have done what we did, what was done. But what a sign of love, because to give Mumbai is to give a treasure. To give a treasure. Where we feel that before their presence, there was something Portuguese connecting India and Portugal in Mumbai. What a good idea of having this seminar here in Mumbai. Not only one of the hearts of your strong economy, a strong heart, but also where the minister comes from. That's very important. That's very important. We're speaking of Minister of Railways and Commerce and Industry. Of course he had to come from Mumbai. It is also obvious, dear Minister. So it's up to you, and up to us, to correspond to these high expectations and high realities that were born and developed very, very quickly in concrete ties between the two countries. That's what I wish, what you wish, what everyone wishes in the two countries. And that's the step, the next step. And I'm happy for another fact. I look around and I see in this room so many young people. So many young people. When I started my political life, and I used to go to seminars like this, I only saw old people. I was very young. Yes, it's true. I was 20, 30, 40, beginning of our democracy. So I looked at the seminars and I said, of course, it's very interesting, but they are too old when we speak of future. Now I'm discovering that 71 is not so old after all. Now, it depends upon your mental attitude. If you think young, you are young. But it's better to be young in age, much better. So I'm so happy for having seen here a young speaker, telling us about the future. His future, of course, but our future, your future, our common future. I'm very happy for seeing so many young people. That means we're going to succeed. Because you are really a great country. And if you allow me, Portugal is also a great country. Thank you.